In this tutorial, I'd like to talk a little bit about the folder structure inside of Panopto. Trying to understand permissions and getting the most out of Panopto really revolves around understanding the file structure and where your videos are located. Currently, I'm in the Ultra view, but it doesn't matter whether I'm in Ultra or Original, because once the Panopto player opens inside of Blackboard, we'll get the same view. So notice that I have the LTI launch, and that tells me that I am inside of Blackboard right now working. And what you'll see here is at the very top left-hand side, you can see, aside from a search bar, a folder. And this folder tells you what folder you're working in at any point in time. A lot of confusion can happen when you're working in Panopto creating videos because you're not being mindful of the different folders that you're either placing videos in or pulling content from. Keep in mind that content that you create might not just be used in one course. You might develop it in one course, but want to, in the future, share it with a different course. If that's the case, you're really going to have to know where you're locating the original videos. And that's a big part of understanding this file structure and why I want to go over this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this drop-down menu here. And I want to talk a little bit about what we see here. At the very top, you'll see that there's an everything folder. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this and talk you through what everything means. Notice when I select everything here, I'm going to get a list of videos that may be mine that I've created, and they may be videos that I have not created. Everything shows the videos that you're working on, but it also shows videos that are in courses that you may be enrolled in. A great example of this could be that you were enrolled in, say, the May Institute, or you took a training course with us, or you did an in-service. If there were videos and you were enrolled in those courses, you would have access to those in the Everything folder. The problem with the Everything folder is it feels very busy at times, so you're usually not going to want to work in the Everything folder. In addition to that, you'll see that you have different course folders here that may be listed. And these can be the courses that you're working in. Okay, so this is my sandbox course. But notice I have a different sandbox here as well. Below that, we have a My folder. And I want to talk a little bit about this idea of My folder. My folder is essentially a sandbox. And because it's a sandbox, any videos that you place in this My folder are going to have to be later relocated to deploy them. A big part of understanding Panopto is understanding that the permissions for your students to be able to view the videos are associated with the folder that the videos are in. So if your students are getting that grant permissions access problem, it's probably because your videos aren't in the proper folder. Okay, and we're going to look at that as we kind of work our way through this. But I do want to show you this My folder. Notice when I select My folder, it looks just like all the other folders, but none of these are actually deployed in a course right now. My folder is essentially a sandbox or a workplace where you can be making videos that aren't currently deployed. When you're ready to move them into the class, you will need to actually relocate those videos. Now what I want to look at is below this, where we see all of these folders. Okay, so notice there's also, aside from the My folder, which we're looking at, there's also a Lewis University folder and a Users folder. And they're slightly grayed out. And what I want to do is I want to expand the Lewis University folder. Okay, so notice that this is an expandable folder. And what this does is it gives me a list of all the classes that I have access to in terms of folders. So I can essentially navigate and search content between these folders. That's the Lewis University folder. So that's the one that's associated with the actual different courses that you've been granted permissions to. Below that is the Users folder. And when you select the Users folder, what you're going to see is the folder for the actual courses and the subfolders that you've created. Notice that this is indented here. and I have a folder that shows me that I've got a subfolder that I've created, and I'll look at that in a minute with you. And I've also got an assignments folder. So these are folders that live inside the course folder that we're working in. Okay, so I just want you to see that. What I really want to do now is, instead of trying to work in this view, is I want to switch gears here a little bit, and I want to leave the LTI. Notice my browser tab at the top. And I want to show you how working inside that Panopto editor, like we talked about, is actually going to be a better way for you to work and manage your videos. So we're going to navigate to the right-hand side, and we're going to select Open in Panopto. And now we have that link that opens up a new browser tab. What I like about working with this is that this is laid out a little bit easier for you to see and work with the videos. Notice the home here is essentially showing you the shared with me. Okay, so notice it says right here at the top, shared with me. Okay, these aren't videos that I created. They're videos that I'm able to view that for courses that I've been enrolled in. If I navigate down to the My folder, again, these are videos that haven't been deployed yet, and I can look at these in different views by selecting right here. For me, I like to work in this list view, but you can also do it by date and title and text. So these can be really useful ways for finding videos. You see that? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reselect here. Then I can use shared with me, and these are ones that I have been essentially given permissions to in some capacity, and we're going to learn how to share video content later. Then we have the Everything tab. Okay. But what I really want to do is I want to show you this Browse tab at the bottom. This is a great tab to work in and understand how it works, because what you can do with this Browse tab is you can browse either all folders or My folders. Okay. Now keep in mind these are two different things, right? We know that My folder is a place where we're essentially working, and all folders are areas that I have access to. So let's expand these. Notice if I select all folders below My folder, now I'll have this Lewis University that's grayed out. This is the institutional folder that all of your courses that you're enrolled in would exist in. And this is a list that of all the folders and courses that I have some level of permissions to. Okay. It also tells me how many videos along the side here are in each one of these courses. All right. And all of these are technically expandable if there's a drop down arrow. Okay. So I want you to see that. The other thing I want to show you is the users. And notice if I select users here, this tells me the different folders that I have for this course that are assigned here. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind as you work through that. The other thing that can be very useful when you're working with this is to come across this top and go ahead and essentially pin this. Okay, when I push this little thumbtack here, let me go back to it. Go to Browse. I'm going to thumbtack, and this keeps this side window open. And now what I can do is when I select one of these folders, I can very quickly see the next level of the folder and see what's in that folder. So I know that, say for instance, Instructor Sandbox OTC 2019, okay, or this May Institute one, May Institute folder, has a variety of videos in it. So I can navigate essentially my entire file structure this way. And the reason I'm showing you this is because you're not going to have access to this kind of detail if you're working inside the LTI. Trying to navigate the file structure is quite a bit more complicated because notice I can't expand the view of all those windows. And that's why I'm really encouraging you when you're trying to work with your folder structure inside of Panopto to go ahead and open your Panopto player and do the file navigation through this browse or any of these folders along the side that I'm showing you here. This is going to work a lot better for you, okay? So in our next video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at how to actually share the permissions of these videos, but I just want to show you how to navigate the file structure in this video. I hope that you found this tutorial useful. For more information, please visit us at the Faculty Center for the Advancement of Teaching and Learning, and please be sure to continue along with the next video in this playlist.